Hello, I'm Caradoc Peters. I'm the programme leader for the Archaeology degree and foundation degree at Truro College in Cornwall. We're part of the University of Plymouth system, and that's what kind of a degree you get if you came to us. But this here today is a masterclass, and we're looking at the use of this implement here, the archaeological trowel. And that was first used in 1808 by John Parker, who was on the team of William Cunnington, an antiquarian at the time. Now, most movies, you see people going around with things like this, brushes, but actually that's not what we use very much. Occasionally we might use it to brush up something and tidy up, but we might even use some water to scrub down a bit of stone or something like that. But generally speaking, with excavating stuff, this is the real tool. And that's because if you mess with this, it actually creates more mess. You throw dust around on the surface, making it more difficult to see features, more difficult to record them, photograph them, and things like that. This tool allows you to cut through photography, cut and leave a clean, sharp surface which can be more readily seen. And so this is what this masterclass is about, how to use the trowel. And by the way, if you want to get a good archaeological trowel, go to the site called Past Horizons. They have a range of archaeological tools and materials, PPE as well, all the rest of it. And there you can get something you know is going to be a good archaeological trowel as well. In fact, in Britain, it's one of the it's such a favourite thing that a lot of archaeologists will buy their own trowel and keep it, their personal one. So put their name on it and things like that. So it's a really treasured thing. It's probably the most important tool that you'll get in archaeology. So without much ado, we'll go on with the troweling. So let me introduce my topsoil. I've just removed the grass and everything, and I've just got a bit more to clear. But if I go in like that, see, I've done a bit earlier there. As I go down, if I'm going like this with the trowel, I'm just stirring it up. I'm destroying the stratigraphy underneath. What I want to do is take it at an angle. So if I'm looking at the side here, I'm taking the trowel and putting it like this. So it's going at a diagonal like that. So it can actually cut through and clear the surface a lot better. So I'm now just going to clear. Can you see? I'm now revealing a sandy layer underneath, and I can really see what I'm doing now. Instead of just creating a sort of a real mess, a real dog's breakfast out of it, I'm actually beginning to see some of the underlying archaeology. I'm clearing a little bit of the stuff here, but I'm going to just show you another thing that's a bit of a fallacy. People always see on movies this idea of archaeologists using brushes. You see this icing sugar here I'm just messing around with. It just creates mess. Look at this. I'm just creating mess everywhere. The dust goes everywhere and I can't see anything. I mean, even if I'm trying to do this, it's actually not clearing anything very well. It's just moving. Whereas if I use the thing, I can really start to clear away gently the actual bits of dirt here, and I can cut away here. And if I do this, look, I'm beginning to see a bit more of this, and I'm cutting away that, just removing bits and pieces of this. You need to see some stratigraphy. Look, so if we look at this, and in fact, I think if I cut this way as well, I can get the actual line a bit carefully, because it's a bit of smudge there, and I can then take away a bit there, and I've got going this way, watching the line. I can see now, because I'm doing this, I can see I've cut this way, taking away that way, and I'm following the line just here. And can you see the way in which there's a line emerging along there, a straight line. I can really begin to see, and I can even see, look, there's a different colour here. There's another different colour here, which is emerging. I can see. What I would do is I'm going to just cut away that, and I'm going to take away. So I'm just, there's a lot of this sort of demerara sugar on it. Now I'm just cleared a lot of stuff now from that top bit. Now there's an interesting patch here. I've got to find out what this is and what the extent of it is. So I'm going to just ease away at the sides here and just cut away here, just around it. Just let's get in here a bit, cut away. I think I see a bit of a surface emerging there. You see it just a little bit there, and you can see that's actually, looking at it here, there's a bit of that there, clear that actually, yeah, can you see? It's actually round. And I can see it around here. There's some of this darker bit there, but it's actually cutting through there. And this here is some kind of, I guess it's something like a post hole really. And that's where I'm going to stop for a moment. Now a bit more has been cleared at this stage. We've got that dark sort of circular patch there. We've got that clear. We've got this bit clear. And now there's a bit of a mess in the corner. Now here comes a special thing, because if I go and start moving like this or like that, it's very awkward, and it really doesn't work that well. What's far better is to when you're taking stuff like this, is to actually then start to do things like this, to actually turn over the bits like this, and you can then begin to discover a border. And if I move these ones to the side a bit like that, I know I've got chocolate buttons and I've got almonds here, but if you're dealing with any kind of gravelly surface here, large bits and pieces, you can sort of use this sort of technique like that, just twisting a bit, just a little bit of lifting like this to just shift things around like that, rather than trying to go and cut, because you can't cut through that. You're having to use this sort of motion. Whereas something here, I'm going to smooth it off here. Here it works. Here the cutting motion actually gives you clarity, and obviously occasionally just smoothing off that to get your trowel a bit clean and so on. And you can cut. And the whole business of this is actually, the thing that people make a mistake at is not really, it's partly digging at the point of using a trowel, but it's also about sharpening up surfaces, creating it in a way that can allow people to see what the features are, so they can record them, they can photograph, they can draw them, things like that, to make it easy to see where things are. Now in some cases you'll find things which are very hard. There's obviously a bit of texture difference, a slight different of colour there. I mean that one, that is made, sometimes the colour difference is so small you can't really tell. And one of the things is by going over it, so I'm going over that, that produces that. I go over this other one, look what happens here. It's a bit more elastic. I can feel that in my trowel. So even if they were pretty much the same colour, I would still feel something in the trowels I'm going through. And just in a cruder way, I can feel the difference going through those bits and these bits, and this rather sticky mush there, and this sandy one. I can feel the textures, but I can also feel subtle differences, like between this bit here and this bit here. I can actually detect that in the way it acts against the trowel. It may be a bit certain grittiness, it may be a bit more elasticity, it may be more damp, it may be more sort of muddy and so on, but I can feel that in the trowels I'm moving. So at one level it's about moving things, cutting things away or lifting things away gently,
in order to reveal the boundaries between different contexts. But it's also you can feel with the trowel, as well as when you're moving from one context to another, and even when you can't actually see the colour difference, you can sometimes detect changes in the things which are due to that. Now they might be because there's a feature like this one, or it may be that, say for example, say this in this one there are different fills. So people have come along with baskets of stuff, they've actually backfilled bits of material. Or say in a natural context it might be a bit of a riverbank collapsing with very similar material to the stuff in later deposits, but with slight differences. It might be colour, it might be texture and things like that, but you can still detect little clumps of things which may be the same deposit, but they may be differences within it, which may due to bits falling out of a cliff or something, or people chucking basket loads of soil into a ditch or something like that. You can feel those differences. So this is just a brief introduction to the use of the trowel and why it's not simply there just to dig holes in things. And one last thing, and here I'm going to just handle my trowel a little bit different because it's quite small. So if I was going to do a circular object like this, I'd draw a line in there and I'd sort of gradually dig out half of it, I'm doing it's quite small here so I can't really see, but you've got to imagine I'm just lifting this stuff away and taking it and putting it in the bucket. But I dig out this sort of darker stuff so I can see in section how deep this is. This isn't very deep, this isn't at all deep. And then I can draw the section here. It's just one colour, it's just this dark grey colour. At the bottom, actually it's just the bottom of my stuff oven tray, so it's that's all it's revealing there. But that's what you do with a feature like that. And then you just draw the section. So you draw the plan here, but you'd also do a cut through to look at any difference in layers in there. And I could do the same here actually, just between a boundary like that. I'm getting a bit of that pepper involved in there, but I could dig away and look at the section between these two things, and we can see actually I've created there in section a mini section.
Right, thank you for watching our troweling session here with this masterclass. I hope you are really enthused by that and will take part in local societies, archaeological ones and so on, and get involved in archaeology. If you want to take this further, you can do it with us at the University of Plymouth, but we're based in Truro College. It's a University of Plymouth degree, but we run it through Truro College in Cornwall. So if you look on UCAS, it's under V400, V401, and you can get that there. And the actual degree you get at the end is the University of Plymouth, although it's actually run through Truro College. So it's Truro and Penwith College on UCAS for the archaeology foundation degree and degree. And as I say, these can be done either 2 years for foundation degree or top up third year for the full degree, or you can, if you've done a foundation degree elsewhere or HND or some other thing like that, or you never quite completed your degree course, you could potentially do a final year with us. So those are all possibilities. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to see you.